here in beautiful Israel. I was in Tel Aviv, but now, or actually, I was in Tel Aviv, then I went to Jerusalem. Now I'm back in Tel Aviv, and I'll be in Tel Aviv for another week, and then I will be flying home on the 11th. So I've been busy. Here's the one thing that I forgot when I packed. I forgot violin rosin. So unfortunately, I can't play my violin and I'm having trouble. Hey, what can you do? More time to hang out with friends. Anyway, another thing I learned while being here in beautiful Israel is that I can no longer be in denial about my cough. It is, in fact, a problem I've had since I adopted my street cat, the beautiful and powerful Michaela Antoinette Claudette, commonly referred to as Mila. Alas, it is obvious to me that I'm very allergic to my cat. So, what shall I do about that? I don't know. I'll be back, like I said, on headed back on the 11th, and unfortunately, I imagine that my sneezing, coughing, etc., will also be back. I don't know. I don't know. Any suggestions about what to do when you're allergic to your cat? Give them to me. All right, so this is 2024 predictions on the economy. I've got the list right here. Everything that you want to know about money in 2024. As I had said in the first reading I did for predictions for 2024, I think that we're going to be looking at more cooperation and communication because war and fighting over trade routes is actually really, really bad for trade routes. It's actually made things worse. War blocks trade. And so everyone is experiencing a lot of economic stress. Of course, we're also seeing mass migrational shifts. A lot of people want to blame Joe Biden for that. But the truth of the matter is, it really doesn't have anything to do with Joe Biden. It has to do with these massive global shifts, civil unrest, which have become increasingly worse as the years go by. It wasn't this bad under Trump, and so we didn't see as much mass illegal immigration. This is something that we anticipated with changes in the environment, civil war in South America, et cetera, that we would start to see these types of massive influxes of migration to the West. How will the world deal with this? Well, we'll just have to take a look at the cards and see. I'm going to go ahead. I've got two cards that I've brought with me to Israel. I've got my Universal Rider-Waite. By the way, thank you everyone who has joined us. Be sure and like and subscribe if you do like this channel. It'd be great to have you on board. I also decided today to bring you the Gilded Reverie. This is absolutely my favorite of the Lenormand decks. And I think that we'll be using those to get some clarification on money in 2024. So while shuffling, let's go ahead. We'll do the empath prayer. We'll go in. We'll start with a general question about money in 2024, and then we'll get down into specifics. Housing market, international economy, what's going on in the EU, the strength of the euro versus the strength of the dollar. What is the future of China? We know that another bank has gone under today with China, which kind of mirrors what I had said about China having to get honest about their economic situation, reach out and try and find ways to cooperate with the West. They're now fighting with France over alcohol imports, etc. These kinds of things have to be resolved if China is not going to be drugged down into an economic crisis and unfortunately take the rest of the world with them. And so we're looking at more cooperation in 2024. Let's do the empath prayer. Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. One of the first things that I feel when I go into the energy of money has to do with the issue of theft that's been under investigation in the United States, both in terms of international crime, but also in terms of American syndicated crime, tax evasion, etc. And we see what's happening right now with Donald Trump, where he's facing serious charges, both because of his personal tax evasion, but also because of the fact that he engaged in a corrupt activity with his businesses. Now it's coming out that Letitia James is requesting something like $350 million that he will have to pay. I think that this is actually going to get worse for him because he did not pay taxes for so many years. This is just one individual that cost the American people millions and millions and millions of dollars in unpaid taxes. So when you look at him and you look at organized crime, you look at cryptocurrency, and you look at the sheer volume of money that was leaving and escaping the United States, taxes that were never collected, we're talking about billions of dollars that could have gone towards social programs. And the people that were compromised, the people that were not paying their taxes, unfortunately, many of them got involved in politics. Um, this feels to me like a balancing of money that simply, if you broke the law, if you didn't pay your bills, if you didn't pay your taxes, there are going to be consequences for that because America has an economic deficit, and that type of criminal behavior is greatly responsible for the deficit. This brings apart the first issue: will members of Congress be indicted? Will they face consequences because they themselves have been compromised? For example, we now see the head of the NRA stepping down and facing legal actions. Again, possible links to being compromised financially. There's a lot of fighting right now in the banking system. I'm seeing both international fighting, but also I'm seeing fighting in the United States. And this is because people recognize that they're being robbed blind, but people have mixed feelings about whether or not the rich robbing us blind is something that they want to pursue. You see this incredible civil unrest. Five of Wands has to do with conflict, not everybody being on the same page. So when we're looking about on the international scene about what's going on in terms of banking, trying to find the escaping money that's bled through cryptocurrency, tax evasion, etc. Again, understand that Donald Trump is just one person who's getting minimally charged 350K or more, a million or more. Think about all the other people and the millions and millions that could have gone towards, food programs for poor children, etc. So we see this kind of conflict happening within the international community. Is China too big to fail? Is the consequences of the trade war between the West and East going to take both the East and the West down if we cannot come together and work out some kind of international resolution of these types of conflicts? For example, when you're looking at the banking system, the G7, how can we create fairness in terms of global trade? In terms of the opposition, East and West, we're seeing a lot of conflict. Russia versus the United States, Iran, Russia, Syria, China, etc. Selling arms becomes one of the main ways that they can make profits, but it certainly is not going to make up for the tourism and the loss of contracts that China had with the United States prior to that. Again, real confusion. This comes up over and over and over again in 2024. The saviors of 2024 are the bookkeepers. It's the economist. It's the person that's crunching the numbers and is looking at pure math and is finding a way to resolve the conflicts of global issues, trade, economy, etc., by simply crunching the numbers. We have this energy come up a lot of Eight of Pentacles, which is crunching the numbers, making it work, finding ways to resolve conflicts. Two of Cups, reaching across the aisle. Also, if you look at the traditional Two of Cups, which is about coming together in sacred contracts, you can see the symbols of healing, the asp, the twin snakes coming together over the union. This is a medicinal. It has a medical aspect, and you can see the man and the woman taking the medicine. This tells me that through these types of economic efforts, experts coming together, we're going to be able to resolve these conflicts. I see many people attempting to escape prosecution. I see many people fleeing the United States and going into hiding. People that may have had cryptocurrency or shell corporations, ways to hide dirty money. We've talked in the past about the fact that there were, in the visions I'd had where I sat with Robert Mueller, I'm an empath. I'm a professional empath. And so my job is to sit with other people and experience their emotions and their thoughts using a technique which we call heart-centered remote viewing. So when I sit in the energy of people like Robert Mueller, I always found myself on the boats, on the mega boats. I saw things like human trafficking on the islands, profits, similar to the triangular trade that took place prior to the Civil War, where people were selling guns, people, drugs, etc., and that much of this crime was taking place in international waters. I feel that the international investigations are coming to an end or wrapping up. You have this kind of energy of the destiny coming full circle. At the same time, you can see this run amok type of attempt of people who are being prosecuted because of money theft, attempting to flee. I don't think it's going to go well for them. You have this Knight of Swords coming in, which can be a police raid or a legal action that's quite aggressive. And you have this defending of the land, Seven of Wands, which does have an environmental aspect to it. So it's like people are fighting back. We're fighting for our land. We're fighting for our territory. We're fighting for our homes. We're fighting against corruption. We're fighting against corruption in the banking systems, the kind of corruption that unfortunately has taken the Chinese banking system down. The strength of human beings' ability to cooperate, the world coming together to cooperate towards the good will ultimately resolve the financial problems that are looming globally. Fighting with the world, fighting with one another has led to global poverty. Cooperation is the way out. We can see here the strength card coming in for 2024, and we can see the time of the businessman coming in a positive way. Justice reigns over the police. And we also see over the corruption, we see death. In plainer words, what the cards are saying is that many of our economic problems had to do with fighting, trade war, attacks by Russia, COVID, stress with China. These trade wars back and forth, it led to actual physical wars. And in the end, the entire planet suffered. We all suffered economic problems rather than coming up with cohesive ways to cooperate and share, which is more of the direction that we're headed in. All right, we're looking now at the stock market, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my Lenormand deck for that for you. And we're just going to get down to the nitty gritty now. Love these cards. And it's good to see you all. All right, so we're looking at the housing market for 24 to see if it's going to be affordable to buy a house, if it's a good time to sell, buy. Let's take a look. The cards for how the housing market in 2024. A new type of purchasing begins to emerge in the United States. I'm having a vision of what looks like kibbutzes, which in Hebrew means community. I'm seeing a man, he's surveying the land, and he, with a group of other people, are buying large swaths of land. Everybody's pitching in 10,000, 5,000, etc. And these cooperative lands are being purchased and also producing jobs, employment, work, etc. I see visionaries coming together, coming in and buying 500 acres and then building houses there and bringing people in and putting them to work. It's almost like the oasis that we've talked about. It's an oasis for people. There's this man coming into this picture. He's like a philanthropist or a very good man is coming that is going to be working to buy lands for community. I keep having this vision of lands for community, lands all over, and just getting people in, just good, compassionate, strong men come and women too. That comes later. um, Coming together. You have this strong male positive energy. You have this cooperation. Then you have this beautiful moon energy, which in the Lenormand deck is psychic and feminine energy coming in. Isn't that beautiful on both sides of the blitz? And this also reminds me of some of the programs I've seen people talking about where they're just designating large areas of land to build community so that no one, I mean, this is just really positive energy. I mean, great. It's like giving a proposal to let's get it done now, let's get it done right away, and we know how to do it, and let's make it happen. I also like this card, which is mouse, which can be sometimes getting into things, nibbling things, running off with them, but it's over a positive card in the sense that this is somebody who's really trying to figure out ways, really sane ways to create affordable neighborhoods. There's also ethics here. You know, communities coming together that are based on mutual beliefs. You can see here and then over the rainbow. So it's like, let's build a community that's based on togetherness, etc. Interesting, he gives the ring to the woman, which again would be indicating some kind of contract or something. So I'm seeing a lot more affordable housing, a lot more building of community. And it seems to be something that a lot of people are thinking of at the same exact time. So, in terms of whether or not there will be housing opportunities in the future, there will be multiple housing opportunities. It appears to me, based on these cards, that anything and everything is being done, and multiple people, including wealthy people, are coming together to find solutions to create as many affordable housing communities as possible. Again, clarification is the engagement ring for the house. You can see the house. And then here again, two of cups reaching across the aisle to the woman. So it just, the housing market looks really good in terms of 2024 explosion of affordable housing opportunities. I don't think we need to be afraid of that. I think it's something that I'm really feeling those cards are pretty gosh darn optimistic. In terms of the environment, we saw the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is associated with cooperation and care for the world, care for the planet. It's to defend one's land or to defend one's territory. They're saying also here that great discoveries will happen in the sciences. that are associated with unlocking the keys of knowledge regarding the planet. So we have this opening the keys, unlocking the gate, good luck over the issue of the environment and the economy of the environment. A bridge comes. And then the birds, which is communication. People had asked me about the green economy, if that would be a big part of 2024. Absolutely. We're seeing huge industry taking over in 2024, so much so that it becomes a source of resources that appear to be quite abundant. For example, desalination plants being built right now in Egypt and Gaza, etc., which can be done very affordably. So we're looking at this positive energy coming from the well, creating bridges of understanding for people. I think that 2024 is a year of peace. I really do, and I think it's a time, when the housing market is going to be changing quite a bit as well. In terms of religious leadership, I feel like we're moving towards more moderation overall, just because yeah, the star. Just because people, again, are moving away from extremism, they're moving away from violence. Overall, I think 2024 is a time of stability for our finances, and it's a time of coming together to create cooperation. People, for the most part, are good, and they want the good life. And I think that coming together to create the good life is what 2024 is all about. All right. So if you're working hard, if you're taking care of yourself, if you're being an ethical person, if you're paying your taxes, rest assured 2024 will be kind to you. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I will see what I can do next time to do more international stuff, but this was just a general on the economy. And hopefully you all enjoyed it. Be sure and like and subscribe. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and we'll see you next time. Be well. Bye-bye.